Now, of course, you're talking about economics and the salary, and now you're getting the back and forth now. First, it was prorated salaries for the 82 games, and now, look, there's going to be no fans, so there's going to be no money coming in for the owners. Where are they? Where do they meet here to make a deal?
Kevin, that is a great question, where they meet. But right now, both sides are fixated on positions that the other side finds unacceptable. You talked about the prorated salaries the players agreed to. They think that is enough of a cut, and they believe the agreement in March that they reached with the owners does not allow the owners to come back in again and say, hey, different story here. The owners have a different view of this entirely. They believe that agreement did not contemplate playing without fans. And obviously, it's a different economic equation when you're talking about empty parks. So the owners have at least entertained the idea of a 50-50 revenue split with the players. Now, in some ways, this sounds very logical, right? You don't know what your revenues are going to be, so just agree on a split, and whatever it turns out to be, positive or negative, that's the outcome. The players, however, view any revenue split, any set percentage of revenue, as basically the equivalent of a salary cap. Baseball disagrees. Here they are. They're on these two different poles. And at some point, they're going to have to come to an agreement and get to the middle. Because let's face it, Kevin, if baseball did not return because the players and owners could not agree on economic terms, the entire country would be furious given the economic state that we're in overall.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I mean, each side has valid concerns, but when you have the worst jobless rate in the country since the Great Depression, it just looks bad, plain and simple. It looks bad. Let's bring the guys into this. And Alex, let me start with you. You know, as a player or as an owner, take either side, but to you, what's the most pressing issue you think that has to be dealt with until we actually do get to playing, hopefully in July?
It's always health. I mean, the one thing that Rob Manfred has been very smart about with his, set of partners in Park Avenue is they're going to follow the lead of the scientists and the smartest people when it comes to health across the board. It's not just players. There's umpires, there's coaches, there's staff, there's local broadcasters. There's a lot that goes on there. But I think going back to Kenny's point, when you think about a 50-50 revenue in a world where you have a pandemic, you have 34 million people plus unemployed, I think it's very, very important that, look, you're going to have your chance at the table with a lot of lawyers pre-collective bargaining agreement. But right now, this is about the shareholders. It's about the health, and it is about bringing comfort food back to the American public that want to watch baseball. And if you're the union, you get a lot of points for doing the right thing today and set you up for tomorrow.
And for me, you're right. Health is first. And then you look back, it's just like, I don't want guys to do what happened in '94, especially the top players like a Blake Snell. You don't want to be the poster child for speaking out on revenue right now and on salary. It's one of those things you got to be very, very delicate with. I think the world wants to see baseball return. And I think it's going to benefit both sides to be the first major sport back on national television. So right now, I think they need to keep it out of the public, get back in the negotiating room, and figure out how do we start this thing on time and keep everyone healthy. And I'm sure the TV revenue locally and nationally will be unbelievable. And I think it'll be enough revenue for both sides.
For the best access, perspective, and personalities in all of sports, follow us at Fox Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.